I never figured a job at a 7-Eleven would mess me up like this. Seriously, who thinks a convenience store gig could turn creepy? But yeah, it did. I worked the graveyard shift at this rundown spot on the edge of town for, 8 months, I think. Hours were 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Dead quiet most nights. Just me, the hum of the coolers, and the occasional trucker grabbing coffee. The store was dimly lit, with flickering fluorescent lights casting eerie shadows on the shelves. I was already on edge, the silence of the night amplifying every little sound. That was it. Well, until this one guy started showing up. This dude came in every night at exactly 2:47 a.m. I'm not kidding. Every single night. Right on the dot. I'd glance at my watch, and bam, there he was, pushing through the glass door with a faint chime. Always bought the same stuff. A pack of Marlboro Reds and a Snickers bar. Never said a word. Just slapped the exact change, $7.42, on the counter and walked out. At first I thought, whatever, guy's got a routine. But it wasn't just that. He creeped me out. Always wore the same thing. A faded blue work shirt with Dave stitched on it in red thread, and these khaki pants that looked wrong. The knees had these dark, crusty stains. Looked like old blood, maybe? I don't know. I didn't want to stare too long. And the smell. Oh man, the smell. It hit you like a punch, like rotting meat mixed with bleach or something. I'd gag a little every time he came in, then spray the counter with that cheap pine cleaner after he left. Didn't help much. The stench lingered, clinging to the air like a bad dream. The store was old too. Floorboards creaked all the time, even when no one was around. My boss said it was just the place settling, but it still made my skin crawl. One night, I forgot to refill the ice machine, and this regular lady chewed me out about it the next shift. Dumb stuff like that stuck in my head. But Dave was different. I started wondering about him. Like, why 2:47 a.m.? Why always the same smokes and candy? And those stains, what was that about? The smell was the worst part. I'd think maybe he's a janitor or works at a slaughterhouse or something, but it didn't add up. He didn't look tired or rushed, just blank. His eyes were glassy, like he wasn't really there. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. Curiosity got me. After he paid and shuffled out, I grabbed my hoodie, flipped the back in 5 sign and followed him. Dumb, right? I stayed quiet, creeping along the side of the store, my sneakers scuffing on the cracked pavement. He didn't go far, just walked straight to the dumpster out back. I ducked behind the wall, peeking out. He lifted the lid, slow, and just stood there, staring into it, for like 10 minutes. Didn't move, didn't make a sound. My heart was racing as I watched him stare into the dumpster. I felt like I was intruding on something private, something sinister. My legs were shaking, but I couldn't look away. Then he dropped the lid, clang, and walked off into the dark. I ran back inside so fast I almost tripped over the mop bucket. Next morning I was clocking out, still rattled. My manager came in, sipping his coffee, and I don't know why, but I blurted out what I saw. He got this weird look and said, 3 months back, before you started, they found body parts in that dumpster. I tried to laugh it off, but the manager's serious expression made my blood run cold. "You're not messing with me, are you?" I asked, hoping for a denial. But he just shook his head and walked away. Said it was all chopped up arms and legs, stuffed in trash bags. Cops never figured out who did it. I felt sick, like I was gonna puke right there by the Slurpee machine. After that night, Dave stopped coming. Poof. Gone. No more 2:47 a.m. visits. I was glad at first, but it didn't sit right. Where'd he go? Did he see me following him? I kept waiting for him to show up again, but he never did. Here's the part I can't shake, though. Sometimes, I swear, when I'm restocking the cigarette shelf at 2:47 a.m., I smell it. That rotting, bleachy stink. Faint, but it's there. No one's in the store, just me and those creaky floors. Once, I even thought I heard footsteps behind me, but when I turned around, nothing. Probably my head messing with me, right? I don't know. I quit a while back. Couldn't handle it anymore. But I still think about Dave. Was he the one who dumped those parts? Or was he just some freak who liked staring into trash? I'll never find out. And honestly, I'm not sure I want to know. I gotta tell you about this creepy thing that happened to me once. I used to work the night shift at this rundown gas station store on the edge of town. It was a lonely gig. Just me. Surrounded by endless dark fields stretching out under a sky that always seemed too big. The station itself was old, its big sodium lights humming outside, casting a sickly yellow glow across the cracked pavement. Inside, the fluorescent lights flickered like they were on their last legs, buzzing faintly. And the air always carried this stale mix of gasoline fumes and burnt coffee from the ancient pot in the corner. Most nights were dead. Maybe a couple of locals grabbing gas or a bag of chips. The occasional trucker stumbling in half asleep for a bathroom break. But this one night in November, man, it still gets under my skin. It was cold. The kind of quiet cold that presses in on you, making you feel like the only person left alive. The wind rattled the loose metal sign out front, a low whine that set my nerves on edge. I always locked the back storage room after 10 p.m. Boss's orders, something about safety. I didn't argue. That room gave me the creeps anyway. It was cramped and shadowy, stacked with dusty boxes that loomed in the dim light, and it smelled like wet cardboard, with a faint sour undertone I could never pin down. That night, though, something was off. Around midnight, I started hearing stuff. Scraping noises, faint at first, coming from back there, like something heavy dragging across the concrete floor. I brushed it off. Old buildings creak, right? Maybe rats scurrying around. But it didn't sound like rats. It sounded bigger. As the hours crawled by, the noises didn't stop. They got sharper, more deliberate, cutting through the hum of the cooler behind the counter. By 3 a.m., it was unbearable. Slow, rhythmic scrapes, like something was pacing back and forth, testing me. I was behind the register, trying to keep busy, rearranging the candy display for the 4th time that night, but my hands were sweaty, slipping on the wrappers. My eyes kept darting to that locked door, its chipped paint glowing faintly under the flickering lights. My heart was thudding, and I caught myself holding my breath, listening. I thought about calling my buddy Mike, who worked days, but what would I even say? Hey, I'm hearing spooky noises. Save me? He'd think I'd lost it. No, I was stuck with this, alone. I should have stayed put. I know that now. But the sound was gnawing at me, daring me to do something. I grabbed the flashlight from under the counter. My hands were trembling, I'll admit it, and shuffled toward the door. Each step felt like wading through mud, my sneakers scuffing the grimy tile. The key was ice cold as I fumbled it into the lock, and when I pushed the door open, the hinges groaned like a warning. The darkness inside swallowed the light from the store, and I clicked on the flashlight, its shaky beam slicing through the gloom. At first, it was just the usual mess. Boxes, shelves, a mop propped in the corner. But then I saw them. Deep, jagged scratches carved into the concrete, stretching from the back wall to the big freezer we used for extra stock. Between the gouges were dark, wet stains, glistening like they'd just been left there. My stomach flipped. What the hell could have made this? The freezer hummed steadily, but it felt alive somehow, watching me. I didn't want to touch it. Every instinct screamed to run, but my hand moved anyway, like I wasn't in control. I yanked the handle, and a blast of cold air hit me, tinged with a sharp metallic smell. Inside were plastic bags, frosted over, stuffed with driver's licenses, credit cards, wallets, personal stuff. I picked one up, hands shaking, and saw a name. Sarah Thompson, a girl who'd vanished last year. Her photo smiled back at me, oblivious. There were more, names I'd seen on missing posters at the post office. My breath hitched, and I dropped the bag, slamming the freezer shut. I stumbled back, nearly knocking over a stack of boxes, and bolted to the phone to call the cops. When they arrived, I was a wreck, words tumbling out in a mess as I led them to the storage room. But when we got there, nothing. The scratches were gone, the floor smooth as ever. I flung open the freezer, soda cans and ice cream, neatly stacked, no trace of the bags. The cop, a grizzled guy with a mustache, gave me a look like I'd been smoking something and muttered about too many night shifts. I begged him to believe me. I saw it, I swear. But there was nothing to back me up. They left, and I was alone again, the silence heavier than ever. I quit on the spot, grabbed my jacket and ran, heart still racing, couldn't stay another second. As I was leaving, I remembered I'd left my lunch in the break room fridge, a dumb tuna sandwich. I went back for it, and the familiar stink of old fish hit me, grounding me in the weirdest way. How could something so normal sit next to what I'd just seen? Later, I heard rumors that made it worse. The guy who worked nights before me vanished 6 months earlier, no trace. The one before him quit after a week, babbling about weird stuff no one believed. What was in that room? I don't want to know. I keep replaying it, wondering why I didn't walk away when those noises started. You tell yourself, it's fine, don't be stupid, until it's too late. Never again. That's my story. It still haunts me. Sometimes I wonder if I imagined it, but then I smell tuna, and I know it was real. Whatever was back there, I hope I never find out. I was stuck working a double shift at the Wawa on Route 9. Not my favorite thing, but rent's due, you know? It was dead quiet, just me and the hum of the freezers. I'd been there since noon, so by 11 p.m. I was dragging. Kept forgetting to restock the coffee filters, 'cause I was zoned out. The store felt off that night, like the air was too thick. The fluorescent lights buzzed, flickering just enough to make me twitchy. Outside, the highway was a black void, save for the rare headlights slicing through. The smell of stale coffee and cleaning supplies hung heavy, mixing with the faint tang of gasoline from the pumps. This guy walks in, a food delivery driver. He's got this wild look, sweaty, eyes darting, like he's lost and pissed off at the same time. Hey, you know where 1247 Elm Street is? He asks, scratching his head. I blink at him. Dude, there's no Elm Street here. We got like 5 streets total. You sure? He nods, pulls out his phone, and shoves the app in my face. Order for $47 worth of Chinese food to 1247 Elm Street. Doesn't exist. I almost laugh, but something's wrong. Then I see the name on the order. It's my name. First, middle, last. I ain't got a common name, so that hits me like a punch. My stomach twists. Wait, let me see that phone number, I say, trying to play it cool, but my voice shakes. He tilts the screen. It's my old home number from when I was a kid, 15 years back. That line's been dead since Mom and Dad moved after the fire. I lean closer, squinting at the details. The order was placed at 8:47 p.m., and the customer's note says, "Leave it with the clerk on duty." My shift started at 3 p.m. That's me. "Man, I've been driving for 3 hours," he says, voice cracking. "GPS keeps dumping me back here. My boss is gonna fire me if I don't deliver this." He's pacing now, muttering, and I'm frozen, feeling watched. Just leave it, maybe? Call it undeliverable, I suggest, but it's weak. He shakes his head fast. No, they paid already. Said deliver it to the person working at the store on Route 9. That's me. Only me. My hands tremble. I glance at the door, expecting something. "Look, just leave it with me, okay? I'll sign for it," I mumble. He stares, then shrugs. "Fine, whatever. You're saving my ass." I scribble my name. Feels like signing a confession. And he bolts, tires squealing as he peels out. The food sits in the back. I don't touch it. Too freaked. My shift's almost done and I think, screw it, I'll peek. Maybe it's nothing. I open the first container. Sweet and sour chicken. Smells fine. But under the rice, a photo. Me, little kid me, grinning at the camera. My heart slams against my ribs. I rip open the others. More photos, all from my childhood. Stuff that burned up in our house fire years ago. They're pristine. No scorch marks. Just sticky with sauce. I pick up one, hands shaking. It's me at my 5th birthday, blowing out candles. I remember that day. The chocolate cake with sprinkles. The toy truck I got. But how's this here, intact, when it was lost in the fire? I drop the boxes, stumble back. How? Those pictures were ashes. I used to hear the floor creak at night in that old house when my dog ran around, but that's gone. Should be gone. I don't call anyone. Who'd believe this? I lock up, go home, don't sleep. Keep thinking about who sent that food and why they knew me. Still don't know. Never told a soul till now. Sounds nuts, right?